Today in The Sims 4, we're going to be creating a build where each floor is a different time of day. We'll be using The Sims 4 to capture the aesthetics of night, morning, day, and evening. Sounds a little weird, but I've got some cool ideas and build tricks lined up for this build. Also, why is my freezer bunny just turned around in the background? You can just see his little butt. One moment. Anyway, we're going to be building here on this lot in Tartosa. It's a pretty big lot, it's a 50 by 40, but we are actually going to start off with our foundation today, a little differently than normal. I want to use this archway from Realm of Magic to build a bridge. The problem is, since I don't have any walls right now, we need to place one down and raise the wall height up to medium. That will unlock the ability to use these, which is stupid. I can literally place them and just delete the wall. But we're gonna take these and we're gonna size them up once. I'm going to do it one more time and we're going to place them together like that. And then I want to angle it going this way, and you can't actually turn it properly without having a wall there. So I'm again just drawing a diagonal wall just so I can put this on it to get the angle. And then I'm gonna size it up and just place that together. I think for now I'm only going to do this at the front of the build. I'm going to take a flat square piece and I'm just going to head that down onto the floor. And then we're going to raise this up to about where I think the archway's height is. So now that we have the height lined up, I'm going to be adding floor pieces, basically just tracing along where I put those archways. I'm using triangular floor pieces to get those diagonal spots. And then to get rid of the foundation wall, I'm using a base game stilt foundation, and I'm just applying that there so it looks like those Realm of Magic pillars are the start of the bridge. Now we can pull this back, and this is going to be where we create our shell. So I want this thing to look like a palace. And since we're doing every floor is a different time of day, I need to make sure we're gonna have room for every single one. So I'm assuming that this is going to be a pretty big build, so that can be floor 1, and then coming upstairs, I'm just gonna start like tracing along, trying to get a base just with basic rectangles and squares until I can add more to it. I know that this back here is going to be a tower, so I keep bringing this square here with me. We could do another one on top, and let's also bring something out here at the front just to make it look more interesting. All right, so I've completed my shell here. I'm thinking it's looking pretty good. I think I want this portion of the roof to be open. So I'm tracing this part off with a fence from the Castle Estate kit. I'm using a different variation of the Castle kit fence on some of the other balconies. And I'm also just going to be tracing around our foundation with it. Before I go any further with this, I had one more thing that I wanted to try and do. So I'm opening up debug. We're doing bb.show hidden objects and bb.show live edit objects. And we're gonna look through my wedding stories debug. So I want to place rocks surrounding the back of this entire thing. I basically want rocks to be circling around the entire build. So I'm just raising them up using Alt-9 on my keyboard, just covering any gaps to make it look less weird. We can even shrink them if we have to bring them around the side. So I'm happy with the placement now, and here's where my idea is gonna come in. Hopefully we can make it work. I want to place these orb lights from my wedding stories in different positions underneath the rocks. So it's going to look like different times of the sun setting behind it. The problem is I can't raise it up past a certain height once it's on the ground. Like I can raise it up here because it's on the grid, but if I try and bring it behind, it won't come with me. So we're gonna take a flat square piece and I'm gonna build myself a little bridge all the way to the back right underneath that rock. Now I should be able to take the orb, but we're gonna size it up, and I'm just going to raise that. This is going to be the sun at its highest peak. I'm gonna be hiding the stick underneath under the rocks, just making sure it's kind of centered. Okay, and then I'm gonna keep using this same idea by using the floor piece as a bridge, sizing up the orbs, and this time I'm going to raise it up so that just a little bit is gonna be hiding underneath the rock. Can you kind of see where this is going? So let me continue this idea until I have all of them setting properly. Wait, that looks so cool. This is how it looks with different lighting. And wait, I have one more thing. One final touch. Under Realm of Magic debug, I'm finding this orb here, which is like a glowing ball. I'm gonna size that up and I'm gonna hide it underneath this one. So this is going to be like the brightest point. I want it to be literally glowing like the sun. Oh my goodness, look look at that. That turned out way better than I even expected. I also hid a moon in the rocks down there too. How cool is that orb up there? So already we've represented the day up top. We've got dusk and dawn with the sunset and rising, and we've got the moon hidden down in the corner there. I love this. Okay, let's finish off the actual exterior. And I'm thinking, because we have so much yellow and orange, what if this thing was blue? Maybe blue sandstone? I don't know. I'm considering blue because it's pretty consistent across all the times of day. And then for my roofing, I'm taking a hipped roof and I'm gonna raise it up and we're going to arch this out. And what if the roofing was orange and we had sized up moon lamps spinning on top? And I'm thinking about making this look even more cohesive using the Realm of Magic archways brought up top. I'm a little undecided about what kind of windows I want to use. Like, I was actually thinking about For Rent because they have an interesting stained glass look to them and there's a lot of variation across that pack. And we also definitely need some columns here to break this all up. I also feel like we maybe need some more colors, so I'm bringing through these orange For Rent roofing pieces and I'm just gonna add that over top anywhere that I have these shutters. I was also thinking about adding some stairs up here just to add a little more flow outdoors. I want this to be a very peaceful space, so even though these are going to be different, everyone who lives here is going to get along, is going to be very peaceful. Down below, I'm actually opening the whole thing up with these archways from the castle kit, and I think I might line the inside and outside of these with curtains from Desert Luxe. As an added detail, I'm also adding these wedding beacons. They're like little towers from my wedding stories, and they're just gonna add a bit of an extra element on the build. Like, it's a way to add to the shell without actually having to add to it, you know? And then for my flooring up top, I think I'm gonna use this one here from For Rent. I also might bring in maybe more of an orangey one on my balconies, like even just this one from base game. And maybe we use a similar stone or tile on the bottom floor. So far so good here. I'm gonna go in and start adding some terrain. I knew I wanted to have a little bit going underneath this bridge that we made, so we're gonna add some terrain like this. We'll fill it up with water. And I was debating just not adding some stairs leading up here, assuming that maybe it's just occult sims that can fly that live here, or you could just teleport your sims in, but I guess we'll add some stairs. And we are definitely adding a massive observatory right in this little spot here. There's an orange one, so it matches our color scheme. And what if we just size up this massive sundial here? Again, just representing like the time of day. We could add other smaller telescopes into the towers that we made. And I also might add some more of the moon lamps just floating down here in the water. This is looking crazy. I just zoomed out to get like a better look at this thing and it is pretty wild. The final thing I'm doing here before I show you guys the exterior is just adding lights hidden underneath these columns. I really just want the nighttime to be as lit up as the rest of the time of day here. I don't think this build is gonna suit the super harsh white strip lights as they are, so hiding them is probably gonna be our best option. All right, so here's how our final result turned out for the exterior, and I'm obsessed with this. It turned out so cool. Honestly, that idea in the back there with the orbs from my wedding stories was the driving force behind this build, and it turned out way better than I could have even expected. I added some fountains at the front. Let me show you it in different times of day. So here it is at sundown. I also last minute changed the wallpapers so we have more orange and yellow happening, just because the blue was kind of blending into the rocks in the back. So now it really stands out, and I also added some stuff at the top. I used a lot of furniture from the Oasis Courtyard kit, so if you wanted to come up here and hang out during the day or the morning or evening, you could do that. And then for nighttime, I added the crystal moonlight grids where you can come out at night, charge your crystals. We also, of course, have the telescope areas. And then on the balconies, I added just some skill items like easels and gardening. And we're gonna be seeing a lot of the crystal pack here since there are tons of nods to like the sun and the moon on there. I also added more of the orbs around like on the ground so that at nighttime it looks like there's little fallen pieces of the sun on the ground. I don't know what it is. I've been loving doing exteriors lately. Like, I used to only like doing interiors because I thought it was easier, but now the exteriors have really become my favorite part. All right, so here's how we're gonna do the interior. The bottom floor is going to be the daytime floor. We're gonna use bright colors in here like yellow, lots of blue, and I put this on the bottom floor even though technically outside our sun is on the top. So if they wanted to come and go and do their daily daytime activities activities outside, they could do that. So this will be bottom floor, and then upstairs, we're gonna split this one into two. We're going to do morning on the left and evening on the right. I feel like these two are very similar in the first place. Sunrise is going to be a little bit lighter, and then sunset obviously is going to be a little darker. And then up top, fully dark, we're doing the nighttime floor. I also did add a ladder at the top here leading all the way upstairs just in case. But let's start off down here with daytime, and I think over to the left we're going to do a kitchen. I've also used the cloud flooring from Horse Ranch up top. It's kind of hard to see, but when you're in here it does look really pretty. So for our kitchen in here, I'm gonna use some yellow cottage living counters, possibly with some country kitchen kit essentials. And for this one, we're just picturing like the brightest, happiest day. I think I'm gonna use rounded island pieces from cottage living in the middle, and I'm actually gonna make it pretty big. We're gonna have to move it over. I'm adding bar stools in here from Tiny Living, and I also want to add lots of plants in here. Everything is awake, alive. I was actually even thinking about adding these here over top of the table, just kind of giving it like a flowy look to it. I'm also bringing in these lights from the Oasis Courtyard kit. We could add a hutch back here. All right, so this is our daytime kitchen. We have a big bar in the middle. I also added a laptop, just assuming that if someone was to maybe work from home, it would be during the day. They could do it at the island. Then we also have our table over here, and I added a small picnic basket. I feel like, I don't know, picnics just remind me of the daytime. So let's move on from here. Let's go do the living room. I don't know why, but I was picturing this piano in here somewhere from My Wedding Stories. So I think I might make that like the center of this area here. And I also wanted to use this vintage glamour rug somewhere, just because it looks like the sun is out in full brightness. We could potentially add a wall beside the stairs, and this is where we could potentially put a TV. I was thinking about adding these bookshelves somewhere too from Strangerville, so I'm just gonna attach those onto this wall here. And I guess we could also do a desk nearby as well, just going along with that working hours idea. Ooh, let's add some of these cloud shelves above the mirror that I just made. And on top of those, I'm just adding some books and small clutter pieces. I'm liking the less yellow that we're using in this room, so I think I'm gonna keep my furniture white, but these ones actually have blue and yellow pillows, which are perfect. This couch set I'm using here is from Growing Together, and I'm actually taking these bookshelves and wrapping them around the other corners, so they're just gonna take up this wall here as well. I really love this little piano spot. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like the clouds up top that are just peeking through. It just looks like such an inviting space, so this is going to be that side of the room. And then over this way, we have our seating area, our living room, a tiny little workspace if necessary. Let's go work on the bedroom over here, which I added these curtains by the doors. I thought these doors were super pretty. They're from Discovery University, and I added the curtains just in theory that you could pull them across to hide the window. And I definitely think I want a canopy bed for this. Maybe the for rent one right by the window. But what I'm thinking for this sim is they maybe don't spend a whole lot of time in here, so it's gonna be a very basic bedroom. Actually, I guess this could be used as like a nap room. I do love a good midday nap. So over in this corner, I'm just using a My Wedding Stories divider. I'm gonna add maybe some chairs just to fill in the space. We could add in some artwork up here and maybe some for rent tapestries. So yeah, we've got our bed in here. We've got a seating area, a dresser, pretty much everything we might need for napping. All right, all we have left on this floor is a bathroom, and we're just gonna follow the same color scheme here. I'm using that for rent shower. Let's actually use the matching for rent sink. I've been loving using these lights indoors too. We're bringing in our flowy curtains. We can do a Realm of Magic toilet here. I don't think I'm gonna do a bathtub in this one. We'll leave the bath for night and maybe sunset. I'm also just adding a trellis here to hide that window. All right, so here's our daytime bathroom. So far, this is really fun. It's fun trying to figure out what to put in each. And obviously everyone's day-to-day life is different. So it's gonna be funny, like maybe some people do take bath times during the day. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna move on though to morning. We're going a little out of order here, but when I think of the morning, I think of coffee. So what if up here we did a coffee spot? How should we do this? Maybe we get some counters here. And where does this espresso machine go? Like I can't put it on a counter. Does it go on a table? Or can you only put it on this bar? I guess that's all you can do, so we're gonna do that, but I didn't want any darkness on here. So there are these eco lifestyle panels, which I'm gonna add on here, and we're just gonna cover up this entire side of the bar. Or honestly, even just that corner. And then over here, I don't really know what what to put, so I'm putting this eggplant thing. Literal eggplant. But I guess it makes sense because it's like eggs, morning. I don't know, okay? I think I might add this trellis here. I'm bringing the same lights throughout. And also when you think of the morning, you think of birds. At least I do. I'm a morning person and I swear, especially lately, the birds outside have been so loud in the morning. And I actually love it. So let's try and put some birds in here somehow. Not the owl. I'm saving him for upstairs. What if we replace the windows here so they're open and we add a birdhouse like facing outwards with the idea that birds could just like come in here. It could be a little bird cafe, which low-key sounds terrifying. But this person also has a balcony, so we could put the bird thing right out here. And that way birds will fly around. Look at them in there. You can see them pop out in live mode. And sometimes it'll glitch and seem like there's birds actually flying around on the interior. Like you can see them flying through the walls and stuff. There's one right there. And maybe in this room we can add small little breakfast tables. We could also bring up some of the bookshelves. I love these. And we'll add some chairs in here. I'm gonna use the same ones that we use downstairs just to keep it consistent. Over on this wall, we could add that get together coffee wall decor. So I'm actually just gonna add a couple of these here, I think. So here's going to be our morning coffee spot. I like that there's the option to read in here if you wanted to. There's also those little pastries in there. Oh, and we could also add the cookies here. Again, mine is super bright. I am such a morning person, but to other people, mornings might not be so bright. But we've got our little coffee spot. Let's go do our bedroom. And I also have a bathroom for each of these ones here too. So for our morning bed, I want it to be super comfy with lots of blankets, something that you wouldn't want to leave in the morning. So maybe we could do this one from Eco Lifestyle. And I also want to add a vanity in here, like they're getting ready for the day. I'm gonna add this dresser over here in the corner. And what if we did a big sun just creeping over this bed? If there wasn't a face, this would make a lot more sense. I can't do it. We could maybe add a yoga mat, like right here. I know some people like to wake up and do a workout or meditation. I wish I could be one of those people. So maybe the sim that lives in this room is very calm, zen. They're clearly going to be a morning person, so they'll just be the type that wakes up always in a good mood. I'm thinking for our morning sim, we're definitely gonna give them a shower. It's gonna be like a quick get ready situation. They're pretty much gonna be getting ready for the day and then getting out of here. Ooh, wait, I found some sunrise art. It was labeled as sunrise and sunset, so I feel like we could use this for both. And I also just found this gradient paint from base game, which is giving sunrise to me. There's also this one, so I might have to change around a couple things. Okay, so we have our sunrise room. I don't know how I feel about the wallpaper still. Also with the colors that we picked too, but I had a feeling this one might be a hard one. Over to this side, we've got our yoga mat, our vanity for getting ready in the morning. And then over in the bathroom, I kept this one, again, very simple, just hoping that they would get in, get out, get ready for the day, and they're on their way. Oh, and we have a bird here too. Let's move on to evening or sunset. I had to keep this wallpaper for this room because this to me is totally giving sunset. I also really love these two pictures, so if we could pull those off somehow. And to me, sunset is like more romantic. It can be more exciting, so maybe we should do the heart bed. And to me, afternoons and like sunset are the coziest time of day. You're finishing work, you're winding down, so I think I'm gonna put a TV in here. Oh, maybe the glowing one from the party kit with like the orange lighting. And I want this one to have a tiny bit of a darker vibe than we've seen so far. Obviously not as dark as the night one will be, but we could maybe bring in some darker vibes. We could bring in some jewelry. This sim could be getting ready, but like for a night out. Like this one could have some shoes in the back, specifically for just going out purposes. Oh, actually, what about the neon mirrors back here with colors of like orange and pink? I'm also adding some purse clutter here. This one might be my favorite so far, and also maybe the one we've been able to capture the best. I also think I want to add a lot of skill items in this sunset spot, especially for like afternoon. I feel like that would be the time of day when people would most often practice their hobbies. Yeah, this one is my favorite so far. Look at it with the evening lighting outside. I've been trying to set the actual in-game lighting to the time of day that we're going for, and this captured it so well. This is what it looks like to the other side. I think it's perfect even if you didn't want to go out, you just wanted to have friends over. There's the bean beanbag chairs there if people wanted to sit down. And I think this one is going to get a bathtub. This is like, you've had a long day, you're coming in here to relax. I wonder if I can get this to look not so weird. Oh, this time we could do the vintage glamour rug, but hide it under there like it's going away. I should have done that in the sunrise one. Maybe I'll do that in here, like the sun is coming out. All right, so this is our bathroom, bringing in those neon mirrors from Spa Day and our weird high school years like thing over there. Let's go do the final sunset room over to this side. What else could we put in here for sunset? Part of me wanted to add a bar, but like we could keep that for nighttime, but maybe this is just like a casual one. Like this is like the pre-party. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna do a lounge space like in the same aesthetic as the bedroom because I really like how that room turned out. So I'm gonna use these. These are from Horse Ranch. We could have seating here in this corner, and maybe we had a record player over here. We're getting a retro feel from this room, which I like. So we have our sunset lounge. I love the record player and the bar being over here. Also super into how these floors look side by side. All right, we have one more floor to go, which is going to be our nighttime floor. I have added some things in here that I thought might fit, including this giant bird. What is with the bird theme today? Which honestly might just use them to cover the railing glitch, but could also be really cool if we put them beside the bed. Or wait, what if they were facing each other? So it's kind of hard to see in here, but the birds are facing each other, surrounding the bed. And the wallpaper that I'm using is from the Crystal Creations kit, by the way. I feel like we need to use the Realm of Magic moon bed. And this is gonna open our options right up because we have a lot more moon decor than we do sun decor in The Sims 4. So since I'm already doing it, let's do the bedroom. I'm adding a vintage glamour dresser there. We obviously need the moon mirror somewhere. I'm also still using those lanterns, but in silver. I might add a fireplace in here, just making it cozy. Nighttime is cold. And I actually changed my wallpaper in here, and I'm layering my curtains with these ones here from Modern Luxe. Ooh, these shelves here from the Crystal Creations kit could look good. Oh, and we also have the Crystal Creations artwork. So far for our bedroom, this is what we've got. We've got our dresser over there. I added a couple chairs here near the fireplace, and I added some stars hanging down from Seasons. Over to this side, we just have the bed, the birds surrounding it, and I layered more curtains going along the back of the wall just to kind of change it up a bit. Okay, let's move on to the main room here. I'm adding one of the big bookshelves in black that we were using right here to cover up that railing, and I think I'm also gonna put a fireplace here. I really wanted to use some owl decor, so I'm gonna add that just like peeking out of the fireplace. The red doesn't really match my room, so I'm just gonna hide that part. And there's also this owl decor here, which we can do a darker shade of. We definitely need the moon lamps in here. And then I was thinking, since we had some of the crystal stuff outside, what if we did a crystal working table? So maybe they're up at night working away. We can even add some crystal wall decor. Maybe they could be the one crafting all the jewelry for the sunset sim. I need something to put right near the entry. We've got our living room. I was thinking about including like a classier, darker kind of bar, like this fountain here and champagne. Maybe it could be like a dance floor here. Like no bad vibes, even though it's darker up here. We could even add the high school years curtains in here too, just acting like stars. So it looks really interesting when Sims would be on the dance floor there. Okay, so here's how our night floor turned out. Over to this side, we have our dance floor. I added a table here. We've got our champagne in the back, and we have our fountain thing here. And then going over to this side, we've got our crystal creation area. I feel like this sim just wants people to come over so they can show off their crystals. Over to this side, we just have a seating area, a bookshelf to hide the railing, and I really love the silver incorporated in here. The final room was our bathroom, which this is definitely one of the best bathrooms in the house. It's one of the bigger ones. I included a bathtub in this one. We've got our lanterns, and then I just have my sink and the toilet over to this side. This build has been so much fun to make. I don't know which floor is my favorite. I definitely love the colors on this one. The daytime one was super pretty too, but I'm still not over that exterior. But that's all I got for you guys. I hope you liked this video. Make sure you let me know which floor was your favorite today. And if you guys liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.